Look, we all know that the season couldn't come to an end fast enough. We did our best at the Etihad today. We had to put up with the championship lift right in front of our faces, which was not a pretty sight to see. Totally the wrong color blue. But nonetheless, we made it out with some sense of dignity. I think we were able to scrap together a relatively decent performance. I don't know though, Jay. It's the first word to you. Let's break down what happened at the Etihad today, bud.
I mean, I tend to agree. I think it was a solid performance. The gulf in class between these two clubs could not be wider. I mean, we put up a decent performance and still were fairly well handled by City's B team.
100%.
So it is what it is. I don't think anybody expected us to come out there and all of a sudden, go back to form of old. But listen, we moved the ball a little bit better. We were able to hang in there with these guys. They had already won the championship. The vibes were in the stadium. The crowd was going crazy. And we had our chances, actually. We probably could have put at least two in the back of the net today, um, which is what the story of the entire season is, us not being able to finish. But again, decent performance.
Yeah, and it was obviously again for the record against the B team. They're running out guys wearing number 80, number 82. I mean, Rico. I mean, it's definitely a gulf in talent to say the least. I mean, thinking about the guys that they just had sitting on the bench waiting their turn, the likes of De Bruyne and Gundogan, Holland, Ruben Diaz. I mean, just everybody taking a nice, comfortable seat, enjoying the afternoon. Boy, how the mighty have fallen. That being said, yeah, Raheem Sterling, where's the finish? Connor was just unlucky. I don't think that you can, blame him too much for that one. But there were definitely some opportunities to score. Played some decent football, and then our substitutes didn't bring anything to the table at all.
No, no.
Didn't see anything from anybody there. But look, man, we know that we've grown to not expect results, I should say. But we didn't deserve it today, and we weren't going to anyway. But would have been nice to ruin their afternoon. But we've got to lick our wounds, get back to Cobham, get the Argentinian in charge, let him put in his barbecue grills for the family atmosphere, and see what he can create.
Yeah, and listen, at the end of the day, I mean, we're not just talking about a team that happened to excel this year. We're talking about a dynasty. This is a club that's won five out of the last six Premier Leagues. Congrats to City. I mean, this is unheard of in this era of football, especially in the Premier League where the competition and the money is just through the roof. So listen, congrats to them. I'm happy that they won, honestly, because it means that Arsenal did not win. So anybody but Arsenal would have been a win for me. I'm very happy about that. Um, I think we can also maybe, show a little bit of teeth because Arsenal fucking shat the bed yet again against Forest. That
We
was
can
my
talk
game of
about
the
the
weekend.
meltdown.
Dude, that was my game of I was sitting there watching that and I saw Owunini or however you say his name hit that guy. And I'm like, dude, they're going to fucking bottle this. They're going to bottle this right now. City doesn't even have to run out there. We don't even have a chance to play spoilers because this team just completely fucked it again, which was amazing. So
Eh,
that made my season. I don't care how bad our season was. Just seeing them fall. I mean, dude, they were
uh,
8 points up at the beginning of April. And right now, City has a 7 point advantage with a game in hand. That's a 15-point turnaround in less than 2 months, and City have a game in hand. You couldn't have fucked this up worse. So congrats to Arsenal.
that's called a collapse, bud. That is the
Oh yeah.
textbook definition of collapse. When you read it in the dictionary or look it up online, there should just be a little Arsenal logo right there, right next to it, and the team picture of this season's squad. I mean, think about how high flying they were. You gotta listen to all the talk. They're afraid of nothing. They don't care. They'll play anybody. They didn't even make it to the semifinals of the Europa League, and they choked away the Prem. Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
And bro, it wasn't like they had like some murderer's row of opponents, to wrap up the year. They drew against they dropped points against Liverpool, which I guess can happen, but they've played like shit for most of the year. They dropped points versus West Ham. They dropped points versus Southampton, soon to be relegated Southampton. Uh, they lost to Nottingham Forest. They got destroyed by City, their chief rival. They got destroyed by Brighton. Like, dude, that is the. I mean, there's some tough fixtures that are in there, but dude, you should have wiped the floor with at least 3 or 4 of those teams.
You're
At
supposed to
least
be the
three or
league
four of them.
champions. You're supposed to be the best in the Prem.
Nope, apparently not. Apparently
I
not. It's
mean,
sky blue. It's definitely not red.
it really is incredible when you do think about how we have just been in agony for this whole season, but at least it's been like a straight suffering situation, and we've had a lot of adversity that we've had to deal with. Not to say that it's an excuse, but there's a couple of relatively reasonable reasons why we haven't thrived. There's been some bad decisions, no doubt, but Arsenal is way closer to a finished product than us. Mikel Arteta has had his opportunity to really get with his players and really play his brand of football, and apparently, that horse doesn't know how to finish the race yet because they were really stretching their legs and everyone's, singing their praise. And everybody has injuries. Everybody has injuries. And they still had enough where you would have expected a whole lot more, especially with Jesus back these past few games and still shit in the bed like this. Not a great look.
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing. And what would I rather have? Would I rather be in pole position? We're using a lot of horse lingo here. I guess it's because of the Preakness. Would I rather been in pole position to have your hands around the Premier League trophy and have it pretty much wrapped up, and then fall from grace, but you still qualify for the Champions League, or have our season where we've just sucked the entire time and we're out of all European competitions? I might take our season than choking away the title. Choking away the title, that's a stain that is going to be ingrained in these guys for years to come, knowing that they had it in their hand. It was right there. And Arsenal haven't won the league in so damn long, and they had it and they lost it. That's just, dude, it's painful.
We don't
It's
do
painful.
collapse. We don't do collapse. We do a lot of
No.
stuff, but we don't do collapse. And this whole season for them is just going to be one that should be an absolute soul crusher because those guys, you don't get a chance to really just kill somebody when you're up by 8 points. And again, the destiny is controlled by you. That's a tough pill to swallow, man. And especially with everybody trying to dethrone City. Everybody is giving them their best shot every week. There's no doubt about it. And they are just still an absolute machine, dude. Holland is just an animal, an
Yeah.
absolute animal. Props
Yeah,
to
and dude,
them.
they're going to reload. They'll probably be better again next
Oh,
year, assuming that, again, if Pep stays, that team's just going to continue to be consistently amazing. But yeah, everybody's shooting for City, and the guy who used to be with City going back to manage the club that he played for, to take out his mentor, like, this is storybook shit for Mikel Arteta. It was storybook shit, and he had this team just grinding, and they had the feel over the course of the season where even if they were down, or they were tied with the team, they got like that extra 2 minutes of stoppage time past the stopwatch and then netted one. It was just, everything was breaking their way across the season, and they were playing extraordinarily well. But no, so happy, dude. It's amazing. It's amazing. Again, I would much rather take them not winning this and losing it the way that they did than having us, finish fourth and have like a fairly mediocre season.
yeah. I mean, agreed. But let's talk about some greener pastures on the horizon. We have a bloated squad. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing get thinned out. I wish we could start thinning it out already, but we got United on Thursday, and then we wrap up on Sunday with everybody else, but we have Newcastle. If we can come away with some decent performances, I'm not suggesting that we go out there and just have fun. I want to see some open football and some guys trying to score these last couple of weeks and restore some pride to the badge and try to perform and attack offensively. Our defense has been shaky. I think, Potts is going to play a much different formation than what Frank is using right now. But I just want to see some free flowing football and see if we can, score a couple this weekend and at least entertain ourselves as we head into next season.
I feel like there's nothing to lose. You're playing with it's such a bad state. You're not playing with house money because you suck. It's just there's nothing to lose at this point, so you might as well
Nothing.
try things. I would love to see Mudrik out there. I want to give this guy more time. I mean, unless they're afraid they're going to be shattering his confidence, I can't imagine that's the case because again, there's nothing to play for. But I'd love to see Mudrik get out there because if he's not a part of the future, then that's a disastrous transaction.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Nani out there. I'd like to see those guys start to play together a little bit. Anybody who's going to be a part of this club's future is those are the guys who need to be out there. And Raheem Sterling again. He had the two good finishes. A week or so ago, he had chances today, couldn't put it past. We know what Raheem Sterling offers, and it is what it is, right? I mean, it's decent enough, but I want to see if Mykhailo Mudryk is that guy, and I want to give him, the next 180 minutes out of these next two games to see if he actually has it. So I hope that we play some of the young guys. I like the fact that we gave Lewis Hall significant burn today. He made some really nice runs. He had some good crosses. He looked dangerous. I want to give him more time and experience. Like let's make it easier for Poch to be able to make these crucial decisions as far as who's going to be here come the start of next season and who we absolutely need to sell or loan out.
Yeah, I mean, there are some big decisions to make, and there's going to be a huge outpouring of talent into the other leagues throughout Europe out of this club. But I mean, I totally agree. Let's just start to get some cohesion. Let's play Carney more if he's going to be here.
Yeah.
If not, let's loan him out. I'd love to see Carney out there. We have a lot of talent. We need to let these guys get their sea legs. And look, these are two big opponents. Those are two great opportunities to make a name for yourself. And if Mudryk can open his account and get a little confidence heading into the next season. I mean, getting off to the getting off the mark, excuse me, against either United or Newcastle would be a great memory, a great piece of confidence building. You got to let some of these guys have a moment or two that they can savor and picture themselves, winning big games and playing at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't see a reason as to why these guys wouldn't be out there. I'm absolutely with you with Carney, and there's just some guys who just there's no reason for them to be playing. Like I don't need to see another minute played from Mateo Kovacic this year. He may be one of those guys who I think in the past we've said we're on the fence on as to whether we need to get rid of him. But if we need to generate cash in order to get ourselves a proper defensive midfielder, to get ourselves a proper keeper, and to get ourselves a proper striker, there's going to be some difficult decisions. And like Mateo Kovacic falls into that category of certainly useful, has been really good in the past, was uncommonly bad for a large swath of this year. But he may be just one of those guys that if you can clear up 30 million, might as well just get rid of him, take the cash, and be able to redeploy that in areas that are truly of need. Because I don't think we need another midfielder that fits that mold. We need a true stopper that can release Enzo, that can allow N'Golo Kante to be able to do what he does best by high pressing, getting the ball back, being able to push forward. Having Mateo there, just a dribbler whose passes aren't especially creative, aren't especially fine tuned. He's not surgical. His finishing is either amazing or just non existent. Somebody else can certainly use a guy like that. I just don't see why we need him at the moment.
Yeah, man. We keep talking about it, but there's just a whole lot of decisions to make. And you know what? We should break that down this summer, especially as we get towards silly season. We'll do a show
Yeah.
about again we'll break down what we think the roster is going to be like. But look, man, it would be nice to get a little something off of the Red Devils on Thursday. I don't know if we can expect a dub, but if we can, get a result, that would be really great. I'd like to see some, offensive fortitude. I'd like to see some free flowing football and just have us with a sense of trying to attack and putting some pressure on United because we do have nothing to lose. There's actually nothing to gain except for some confidence and some cohesion.
Yeah, and we can play spoiler. I mean, that's something too. These guys are going to be your rivals continuously. You could probably say that Newcastle's going to be now part of a Big Seven in the Premier League. You could, throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into these guys' seasons. So there is stuff to play for, not for us, but for them. And yeah, listen, there should be guys that are fighting for their spot in the squad and looking to put up a performance for Poch, show a little bit of pride. And yeah, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, whether we go lay an egg or whether we put up like an amazing show, it means nothing. let's just get into the summer. Let's get the new skipper in here. Let him start to set the tone as far as what we're going to look like, and we'll all take it from there. We'll see who's in, we'll see who's out. But we're just going through the motions at this point to just put this thing to rest. I am excited about
Agreed,
the
man.
last week. The last week of the season is always amazing. So it's nice to have every game on at the same time. You can hop around. I was watching the game today with a buddy of mine. He literally sits up like 5 or 6 TVs in his living room and streams that many games all going simultaneously just so that he can watch all of them, which is amazing.
That is a lot of football consumption. I do love having me multiple games on at once. There's no doubt about it. But all right, man. This is when we thank everybody for all the likes. Thanks for all the feedback. We appreciate all the downloads and the listens. Hit Jay and I up at americaisblue@gmail.com for any inquiries. We love all the feedback. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next time after the match on Thursday against United. Till then, stay blue. America is blue, and we love you. Thank you.